How many of you are familiar with Occam's razor? Occam's razor recommends that from among competing hypotheses, selecting the one that makes the fewest new assumptions usually provides the correct one, and that the simplest explanation will be the most plausible until evidence is presented to prove it false. Now think about that, because we want that to be the beginning point for taking a look at the pros and the cons of modern day scholarship, and more specifically, science. So basically what this is saying, the simplest explanation is usually the best explanation until proof is presented to prove otherwise. So now, there was a time when humanity, mankind, they believed that the universe was eternal, okay, which gave rise to pantheism, panentheism, and so forth, which we discussed earlier. But they actually found out through observation that something else was taking place. This gave rise to what they refer to as the Big Bang Theory. Okay? Now, let me read a little information for you. One of the most persistently asked questions has been, how was the universe created? Everybody wants to know how the universe was created. Well, the simplest explanation to that, to answer that, Bereshit bara Elohim at. You see, going right back to the beginning. In the beginning, mighty ones created. That's the simplest explanation. But again, humanity, because of the many devices of the adversary, doubts, which brings about that domino effect of several other things taking place. So, many once believed that the universe had no beginning or end and was truly infinite. Through the inception of the Big Bang Theory, and we're going to focus on that term theory in a minute. However, no longer could the universe be considered infinite. The universe was forced to take on the properties of a finite phenomenon possessing a history and a beginning. And let me explain to you what scientists did, what they came up with. What they found out, and we're going to see how all this connects to Edwin Hubble in a minute. I'll read some information to you. But when they looked into outer space, what they actually see, they see the universe doing this. And I'm going to start here. I'll start here as a beginning point. This is what they see the universe doing. They see that it's getting bigger and it's expanding. Now when you look out into outer space, here's my question to everybody. And the best example we have of seeing out into outer space is when the sun sets. Okay? And when you look up and you see all the stars and things. See, during the day you can't see all of that because of the greatness of the natural light of the sun outshines all of that. Every now and then, depending on which phase it's in, you can see the moon during the day. But remember, he created two great lights. The greater light to rule the day, which is the sun. The lesser light to rule the night and the stars. So when the sun sets, that's when the moon and the stars take prominence. But see, when you see the moon, see the stars are those specks of light that you see way out there in the universe. Okay? So what they notice, what this spiral simply represents, is the expansion or the expanding universe. So now what they have thought of, and again, what they have thought of, about 15 billion years ago, a tremendous explosion started the expansion of the universe. This explosion is known as the Big Bang. Now, all of these different things that they are actually discovering, we're going to see in a minute, does not disprove, as many of the scholars and the scientists try to, does not disprove the existence of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Contrary, what science actually does, mankind is discovering how things came about. That's all. It doesn't exclude the Most High. It actually gives you a reason for His existence. But because of doubt, because of that old serpent called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world, who has the whole world wondering in amazement, because of his devices, you have doctrine such as this. At the point of this event, which is the Big Bang, all of the matter and energy of space was contained at one point. Question: what was that one point? Think about that. What existed prior to this event is completely unknown and is a matter of pure speculation. And that's what they say, basically to say, stop all you religious folks from believing that there was a creator of the heavens and the earth. But you're going to see some other evidences again that actually prove that there had to be a creator. So let's move on. And this being done by science. This occurrence was not a conventional explosion, but rather an event filling all of space with all of the big particles of the embryonic universe rushing away from each other. The Big Bang actually consisted of an explosion of space within itself, unlike an explosion of a bomb where fragments are thrown outward. The galaxies were not all clumped together, but rather the Big Bang laid the foundations for the universe. Okay. The origin of the Big Bang theory can be credited to Edwin Hubble. So he is, to some degree, the founder of this theory. He started. Hubble made the observation that the universe is continuously expanding. He discovered that a galaxy's velocity is proportional to its distance. Galaxies that are twice as far from us move twice as fast. Another consequence is that the universe is expanding in every direction. This observation means that it has taken every galaxy the same amount of time to move from a common starting position to its current position. Just as the Big Bang provided for the foundation of the universe, Hubble's observations provided for the foundation of the Big Bang theory. Now let's take a look at that term theory, as was mentioned. And the point being, coming to understand how it is that the adversary works. So the term theory, and you could do this research, one of the terms that's associated with abstract thought. Now, abstract thought, in contrast to concrete thought, as we discussed, the Hebrew language is founded on concrete thoughts. The language itself is based on something that humanity can experience with our five senses. Okay? Whereas abstract thought is something opposite. Okay? Speculation. The term theory also means speculation. So what's interesting, if I can just back up for a minute, and sometimes because they use what they need to be big words, intellectuals, to the people who don't speak that type of language, it can be very confusing. And just because a person went to a university and earned a degree does not mean everything they say is correct. Well, listen to this. Now, if the term theory also means or can be associated with speculation, let me read something else. It says, the origin of the Big Bang speculation. Okay, let me just throw that out there. But let's back up when they tried to disprove their